Guys, welcome to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. This time we got to the Comet Observatory, and Mario, as you can see, is very tired. He's very much asleep. And okay, so we are now back in the Comet Observatory. I didn't know how long I was going to be able to keep that up. So let's go ahead and talk to Rosalina again. So as you know, she says we should go to the terrace first. So that is where we are going to go. That is our first dome. And this guy says the power stars are our friends. I implore you, please help them. So yeah, so as you know, we got to the Comet Observatory. Actually, if you come over here, you can get a much better view of the entire place. As you can see, we only have a couple areas unlocked. We have the garage and of course the terrace, which is the first dome. But there is much more to explore, as you can see by this view here. But right now we only have one dome to explore. So let's go ahead and see what galaxies await us in the terrace. And that is our first area. Real quick, I actually want to show this this part off as well. This is the garage. You can see there's a sign here. Your one-stop shop for intergalactic starship repairs. So this is basically the garage. Nothing really we can do right here. You can get a 1-up in this box. That'll respawn, I believe, after every mission you do. But yeah, like I said, let's go ahead and explore the terrace first. What do you have for us? This is one of the many domes on this observatory. We call it the terrace. So yes, as you know, this is the terrace. So let's go ahead and enter. Welcome. This dome acts as an eye of the observatory. From here, we can gaze upon the galaxies. Once this Luma transforms into a pole star, he will guide you to different galaxies. So yes, so basically this blue Luma, he is going to transform into a pole star. So a pole stars basically just pull you up. They can be found in various galaxies, but in the domes, if you use it like this, you'll be pulled up into the galaxies. These are the galaxies that can be observed from this dome. The number represents their distance from the observatory. So the bigger the number on the galaxies, the greater the distance. So basically, yes, the more power stars we find, we will be able to access different galaxies. As you can see, the only one we can access is the one right here, because we only have one power star. So we'll go ahead and unlock this. And this is the Good Egg Galaxy. This is our very first galaxy. Yes, it is undeniable. We're detecting power star energy patterns in the nearest galaxy, but I must warn you that the evil energy readings are off the charts. Please be careful. All right, so thank you for that warning. We're going to go ahead and get started. Our first galaxy of the game. All right, so we are now in the Good Egg Galaxy menu. So this is basically where you're going to find your different missions. But this first one is going to be Dino Piranha. And looks like we have a big egg over on that planet. So we'll see what that's about here very soon, I'm sure. All right, so this is a Good Egg Galaxy. So yes, like I said, the first galaxy of the game, obviously. What you want to do, definitely, as soon as you enter any galaxies, collect a bunch of star bits. Coins are also nice, but unless you're low on health, it's not really a big deal to grab coins in this game unless you're just a collector. Star bits are definitely going to be much more useful and much more important, especially later on. But once we get there, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. Let's see what you have to say. So to pick up star bits scattered, yeah, so basically they just kind of let us know how to pick up star bits, kind of like the Toads did back at the Star Festival, but we already kind of know the drill. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All of these galaxies in this game, I think there's maybe, with the exception maybe one or two, I love the design. I love the atmosphere. Of course, it's a 3D Mario platformer, so you're going to have a ton of areas to explore, just like with any Mario 3D platformer. But this game just kind of goes even further with it. Like, it takes Mario 3D platforming to a whole new level. But I want to quickly show this area off. If you go in that orange pipe and then you hit this question mark coin, you will get a bunch of notes that spill out of it. And as you know, they are playing a very familiar classic Mario theme. Some nice little throwbacks to some of the older Mario games, so I kind of like that. But they will reveal a 1-up, so you'll get a 1-up from completing that note challenge. There's several of those throughout the game in different galaxies, so you want to look out for those coins with the question mark on them, because those will typically reveal a secret. So just want to kind of go through that as well. So now we are exploring more Good Egg. Yeah, mostly galaxies. I see we have a launch star here. My friends are ahead. Hurry! Again, no questions asked. We just have to do what the Lumas tell us to do. But we're going to go ahead and use this launch star to blast over to this planet. And it looks like we have some more star chips to find. So it looks like we're going to be assembling yet another launch star, I believe. So this part is pretty easy. But yeah, this game really goes above and beyond when it comes to the platforming. You're going to be given a lot of different environments, which is what makes this game so popular, from the beginning, and what makes this game so unique and special is the different environments, different types of platforming that this game kind of tasks you with, and it again goes more above and beyond than any Mario platforming that I've seen, especially before this game. Like all the other games I think are great. Don't get me wrong, I love the classics. Of course, Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine will always hold a special place in my heart, but this game has something unique about it that stands out as well. But if you actually jump on these piranha plants, they will form a vine that allows you to connect from one planet to the next. And as you can see, our gravity is already changing. We went from the top of that planet to the bottom of this one, so that's something I love in this game, where they just switch up the gravity pretty frequently. These little guys will kind of, as you can see, they kind of like drain your health if they gnaw on Mario's head for too long. You just use your spin attack and you can get them off of you. But we're going to continue on, and we have a giant piranha plant over here. These things you can use your spin attack on, and they'll swing into nearby enemies, nearby maybe boxes that have star bits in them. But with that guy, you just want to swing that thing into him and he will die. Now we're moving on. Looks like we have some more platforms. Watch out, after you spin once, you have to wait till your Luma comes back before you can spin again. So yeah, that's basically kind of a, you have a little bit of a timer, I guess, on your spin. So once you spin once, you can't like do like repeated spins, like, 1 second after the next. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to do another spin attack. So if there's like 2 enemies, and you spin on one, you have to make sure you spin quickly on the next one, because there's a couple seconds interval there. But now we have arrived at the first boss of the game. So this is Dino Piranha. As you can see right now, he just looks like a big egghead with a weird looking, coconut looking tail. So what you want to do is you want to spin attack on a tail, break his egg open, and the battle truly begins. And I know a lot of people probably think this guy's kind of a knockoff of Petey Piranha. I personally think he looks very similar, but there's enough differences where I think they can distinguish, him as a separate character. But yeah, simply just want to keep spinning at his tail with Mario's spin attack, and I missed it there. This fight's pretty simple. Even for some reason I'm not able to get to his tail. But once you spin attack his tail, I believe 3 times, he goes down. Maybe it's 4. I think the first time technically doesn't count because it's just cracking open the egg, but there's the final time, and he is done. Simple as that. We have taken down the Dino Piranha. And we get our first Power Star, technically, since we've only collected a Grand Star so far. Like a few more star bits, and we'll collect our Power Star. Return back to the dome. We'll add that star to our collection. As you can see, we are now up to 2. So we're making progress already. I know it's not a lot of progress yet, but we have a long ways to go. But hey, it's a step in the right direction, I say. Those star bits, or those things are star bits. To Lumas, they are the tastiest treats in the world. So basically what this guy's going to do is he's going to basically have us practice collecting and shooting star bits. If you're not familiar with this part of the game, this is a good time to kind of practice on this. If you are, you kind of know the drill. But he'll give you some free star bits right there, and then you basically just want to aim your Wii pointer at whatever you're shooting at, and you hit the B button to shoot the star bits at the Luma. It's pretty much only going to be a Luma you're going to be shooting at. You can shoot at enemies in certain objects in the game, like flowers that might spit out coins or things like that. But hungry Lumas are something that are going to be something we'll see here coming up. But now we're going to go ahead and head back to the Good Egg Galaxy for our next power star. Alright, so as you can see, we have completed the Dino Piranha mission, so now we have a snack of cosmic proportions. And it looks like our second power star of the galaxy is located over on that star platform, or star-shaped platform. And it looks like we have our first Hungry Luma. Alright, so with this power star, it's very important, and I cannot stress this enough, that you collect every single star bit that is in your path on this mission. You'll see kind of why. As you can see, there was a Hungry Luma in the cutscene there. So once we get to that thing, you'll kind of see why the star bits are important to collect, especially in big numbers. I think for this one, you have to get like, I want to say 100. Maybe it's less than that. Maybe between 50 and 100. In this case, basically just telling us how to run into enemies with their spin attack. I believe this block has, yes, a bunch of star bits in it. But yeah, star bits in this mission are going to be very important. And like I said, during the kind of the later part of the game, you're definitely going to need to save them up. I honestly recommend not even using them at all unless you absolutely have to for missions like this where you have to feed a Hungry Luma. But yeah, I recommend otherwise saving them as much as you possibly can, because again, they are going to be very important for the later part of the game. There's actually locations and different galaxies that you will not be able to access without enough star bits. So again, I highly recommend saving them as much as you can and collecting them, even going out of your way to collect them if they're within sight and you're doing a certain mission in a galaxy. I think it's very important to get as many star bits as you can. But for now, we're just going to continue onwards. We're going to go ahead and spin into enemies, and that's another thing that's nice is, and this guy looks like he's going to transform into a pole star because he's a blue Luma. I got a hungry friend up ahead. You don't mind sharing your snacks, do you? Well, typically I do, but in this case, I think it's important that we are going to, or that we don't mind. So let's take this launch star over the next planet, and we'll continue onwards. And as you can see here, we have a couple more of those spiky things. And it looks like we have some more star bits. So we'll go ahead and crack this open, collect some more, and we'll be on our way. And it looks like we have a launch star that is in some crystal there. Get rid of these Goombas. But yeah, one of the things I was going to say was when you're fighting enemies in this game, it's kind of nice to give you the option to, well, you can jump on the enemies, which usually reveals a coin. But if you spin into the enemies, they 9 times out of 10 will have star bits in them. So it's kind of nice if you're low on star bits or if you're low on health, you can kind of decide how you want to destroy the enemy. Whether you spin attack them or if you just jump on them like normal, determines what they drop after they die. So that's kind of nice, but we're going to go ahead and take this little launch star path. Boom. And that's a nice view of the sun. And it looks like we are on an egg. This looks like a Yoshi egg from the design of this planet, so that's kind of nice. Another thing I love about this game is most of the planets and galaxies that you are going to be exploring are going to be something of a resemblance from the Mario universe or other games. And this is a Hungry Luma. So this is our first Hungry Luma. So as you can see, he wants a bunch of star bits. And yes, so he is going to need 100. So luckily we have plenty. So yeah, I forgot it was 100 right off the bat. So once again, that's another reason why you will need to collect a bunch of star bits in the game, because as you can see, we already have our first Hungry Luma. And they will appear actually later on as well. So there'll be other galaxies where you'll have Hungry Lumas that are located within the different galaxies. And I can see that a new planet was born based off of that Hungry Luma being fed. And he's got a nice pink launch star for us to get us over there. But most of the other galaxies will have some Hungry Lumas spread out throughout the later galaxies. So again, that's another reason why collecting star bits is very important, because if you have enough star bits by that time, you don't have to worry about going back and grinding for some, because that's very annoying. That's something that you do not want to do. It's not that big of a deal if you don't have enough star bits at a certain point in the game, but you know, making sure that you're kind of getting as many as you can right off the bat is a lot better and easier than going back and grinding for some, because trust me, I've done that before, especially if like it's your first time playing the game or you're not familiar. my first couple times playing the game, definitely had to do that a lot of times. But now we're going to blast on off here, and we're going to go to this little capsule thing in the middle of the galaxy. And we're going to continue getting star bits, because again, we're still going to need them much later. But this is going to be a little bit of a fun little maze here. So we're going to crack this thing open, jump into here, and as you can see, we have a change of gravity within this capsule. So this is kind of an example of something they do a few times in this game, where they'll have like directions of the gravity changing, and you'll have to maneuver and kind of navigate throughout the different gravity changes. So this can be kind of tricky if you're not used to it, but if you are, it's so fun, and it's so just amazing to be able to you know, again, just go through different gravity directions. And the fact that they, you know, included that in a Mario 3 platformer is just amazing on its own. But let's get rid of these Goombas here, and we'll take this next launch star, and that's a nice view of the Yoshi egg planet over there. And we will proceed on, and this is the little star-shaped platform that had our power star, so we're getting kind of close to the end here. So as you can see, we have a bunch of blue star chips. These will actually form into a pulse star that we'll need to collect that power star. Now, technically, if you're one of the experts playing this game, or you played this game many times, clearly that power star looks like it can probably be reached by a long jump, but we're going to do it the intended way. So we're going to collect all these chips, and we're going to get these pulse stars, and voila, we have collected our second power star of the galaxy. We'll come back to the dome once again and add that star to the collection. We're now at 3. And we'll be saving our princess here in no time, even though we have a ton of stars left to get, and we're not even close. But somehow I feel like we're getting closer. Well done, brave explorer. You've discovered a new galaxy. Collecting power stars will expand our range of vision, perhaps to eventually include the enemy base. Yes, the enemy base is something that we are going to be tackle not too much longer, but there's an enemy base in every dome, so you'll kind of see what that looks like once we get there. But now we're going to go head back to the Good Egg Galaxy one more time for our third and final power star. Now we are going to take on King Caliente's battle fleet. Alright, looks like we have some airships up in the sky there, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see what's up on there. And we return to familiar ground, so like I said, more star bits is always going to be good, but with this certain mission, we are not necessarily needing those. So go and destroy these guys, get them out of our way. What you're supposed to do is actually go through that orange pipe that I did in one of the earlier power star missions, but we're going to try to cheat this, even though I'm failing at doing so. And you can actually jump on this mushroom house, and you can hop in the launch star without taking the orange pipe down below. So we're going to kind of take a little bit of a detour there. But now we've arrived to a little more of a tropical planet with a big old tree there. I love how that toad's still spinning. Woo, you saved me. Thanks, Mario. In return, let me tell you a secret about this place. Apparently those spiky things just hate coconuts. Shake the Wiimote to spin and smack the coconuts into the spiky things. Yes, we have coconuts here. Somehow they are up in the space. But yeah, if we smash those spiky things with the coconuts by using our spin attack, they will reveal certain things. So as you can see, we had a sling star that one revealed, but we have a lot more here, and we have a big old pokey right there. Definitely want to take care of him once you find another coconut, like so. Spin it, and it will destroy his body. And then you want to jump on his head as it's sinking in the sand there, and take the next launch star. As you can see, we have some chain balls, or chain chomp balls, I should say, just rolling in the planet out into space. And it kind of makes me wonder kind of how, I mean, I know a lot of these are typical kind of, you know, common Mario enemies in the Mario 3D world, but kind of makes you wonder how all these guys got, I know they're probably summoned by Bowser and whatnot, but And we have the return of the bullet bills. These guys are actually intimidating this game. They can lock onto you, but we will need them to break certain things later on. But kind of going back to what I was saying, it's kind of interesting how all these enemies got into these galaxies. Like, I know Bowser probably released them all and whatnot, but like, you think like, even like, I know Mario kind of has like a new ability where he's able to kind of navigate better through the galaxies, but your attacks won't reach those. So yeah, we basically have to deflect those. Once they shoot those green ball things, you'll have to use your spin attack to deflect them back at the enemies. Those things you want to avoid. And here's the green things, and as you can see, I did 2 birds with 1 stone there, and that'll lower the bridge. But yeah, kind of what I was saying was, it kind of makes you wonder how all these enemies got here, and how they're surviving. Like, I think like some of them probably have like abilities where they can, I guess, survive in outer space. So this is an extra life shroom, so basically it'll raise your total life to 6 instead of 3. And then once you lose 3 of the lives, or take 3 hits, it'll go back down to your regular life count to 3. So that's kind of nice if you're taking on a boss like we're about to here soon. This guy we don't really need it for, but I just kind of wanted to grab it to show it off. So yeah, this guy's basically telling us that there's these little light things. So this is one of the things you can use your star bits to throw at, and it'll reveal coins. So in case you need extra lives there. And I almost jumped into that lava pit, man. That's getting a little too excited here, but this is King Caliente. So here's our next boss of the game. This guy is no threat whatsoever. He's gonna basically do what the other, I guess, Octorok type guys. I don't know why I use that name. That's not the right game. But they remind me of those enemies. But he's basically the king of them. So he's gonna shoot out the same things they do, avoid the fireballs. But you want to spin it on the green balls, so sling them back to him. And he will get angry. But this is one of my probably one of my favorite boss fights of the game, because it's just so fun. Like, you just basically play like a nice little game of like, kind of like volleyball, where you're like throwing a ball back and forth and you're trying to not, you know, it just reminds me of like a sport like that where you're just like slinging the ball back and forth. But basically you just want to do that enough times and he will be destroyed, revealing our next power star. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these last minute star bits here on this flaming planet, and then we'll grab our power star. Finish off the Good Egg Galaxy. Go ahead and add that one to our collection as well. And we are moving right along here. Increased our star bit count, and that's always nice. But I think we're going to go ahead and end things off here. So now that we have completed Good Egg Galaxy and gotten the first 3 power stars, we are next time on Super Mario Galaxy. We're going to go ahead and explore the next galaxy that we have unlocked here. Until then, I will see you guys later.